I want to leave you with the following. If the rule of law means anything, if your bar association motto, lawyers render service, means anything, then it means, and if what I have said to you today and what I have done during my legal career for 65 years means anything, it means ultimately that in my opinion, and this is just my opinion, this country faces two major problems. One is racism, and two is inequality. If the life and work of Dr. King and Mrs. Parks and Congressman Lewis and Reverend Stellsworth means anything, it means that the struggle continues for equal justice under the law, particularly for women and for minorities. And it means we must continue to work for the elimination of racism, inequality, and discrimination. It means there is a real challenge as to whether the gains we have obtained, particularly during my 65 years of practice, will continue or whether we'll lose them. If we lose, it means that Dr. King and all the others who have given their lives for the protection of human and civil rights will have died in vain. If we lose, not only do we lose, not only do African Americans lose, but this nation loses. The question then before us, as we stand here, as we sit here today, is where do we go from here? As we sit at this bench involved luncheon, I want to suggest to you that there are three things that we need to do. Well, let me say this for one. We need to recognize that racism and inequality is alive and they're wrong. That declaration needs to come from the top. The White House, the Congress, the United States Supreme Court, CEOs of our corporation, heads of our institutions, all of our governmental bodies, because if you don't realize you have a problem, then you'll never be able to solve it. So we must recognize that what we did in Joanne Robinson's living room when Ms. Parks was arrested was recognize that black folks had a problem in this city, and we came up with a plan. If we had not had a plan and made that plan on the evening of December 1st and in between, then we would not have had the civil rights movement as it started. We made a plan. But a plan is no good unless you recognizing that you have a problem is no good unless you come up with a plan. And that's why we have to end up with a plan, and that's what we did in Montgomery, and that started the beginning what later developed into the civil rights movement. The third thing is, you just have a plan and just make it, it's no good. You're going to have to execute it. After Joanne and I made the plan and passed it on out and gave it to others, and it was executed. And then the last saying is, everybody would like to believe that we are all equal, that we don't have any discrimination, and that everything is made for love. But it's not going to happen unless each one of us decide that I must also individually help to solve this problem, because while it may be against that person this time, it may be against all of us now. So then, it has to begin with us. I leave you with a message, and this is the message that I want to leave you with. And this is the message that Congressman John Lewis, and I didn't get a chance to talk with you about him, a great Alabamian, a great civil rights, a great non-violence warrior, told me a few days before his death. On July the 8th, 2020, he had his office to call me and wanted to talk with me, and he knew that he didn't have much time, and that was just over a year ago. I asked the congressman, considering his great civil rights records, what he wanted me to do. He said, brother, keep pushing, keep going, set the record straight. So then, it is appropriate, finally, that this is said at this bench and bar luncheon, because you judges and we lawyers are the ones who can help to complete the job of eliminating racism, eliminating inequality, and eliminating discrimination. I hope you accept this challenge. So I say to you here today, who are interested in seeing that the rule of law is effective and to carry out the responsibilities of lawyers rendering service in eliminating racism, inequality, and discrimination, wherever it exists. Keep pushing, keep going, set the record straight, do that until justice rolls down like water and righteousness like a mighty stream. Thank you, and have a good day.